Here we go, guys. We've got ROSITH, we've got CHENE. Both these two very experienced guys here in SWC. Pre-bans have gone out. Ciara getting pre-banned and Okeanos getting pre-banned by ROSITH.
Interesting pre-bans here. ROSITH should be dropping down the Ragdoll first here because that's very good against most of CHENE's units. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a Ragdoll first pick. Surprised neither player pre-banned at first, knowing that that was likely going to be a key unit on both players' fields. So if Ragdoll's not taken, then we're going to see some sort of either a Hathor, but I guess EU has been taking a lot of Fran first. So we see the Fran first pick, which is a little interesting coming out from ROSITH.
Yep, Fran first pick. CHENE looking to get his first picks in here as well after seeing a Fran being drafted by ROSITH. Let's see if he's going to be taking the Ragdoll, or is he going to give it up for ROSITH for him to take with his Fran?
CHENE doesn't need to take the Ragdoll first pick because he also the Ragdoll's more of an anti-Arda pick here. So Daphnis is a very good pick into Fran, and ROSITH also does use Daphnis quite a bit. So this is a pretty good counter pick coming out from CHENE's side. He's a little weak to a well-runed Barbara if ROSITH had one in his back pocket. And so ROSITH at this point is deciding to go to outspeed. I'm not sure about the Vanessa pick into a Vigor. He's going to need a lot of aggression if he's going to go with a Vanessa, or he's going to have to ban out that Vigor.
Nope, you see Vanessa Ragdoll being drafted by ROSITH here. CHENE looking to respond after seeing that Vanessa Ragdoll.
Yeah, and of course, Ragdoll's almost never a bad pick. It's such a powerful unit, one of the highest win rate units, so strong in any meta, any situation. So Ragdoll, a very obvious pick. And then CHENE going with the Vertihile, and we're likely going to see another piece of damage or some other way to support the team. And that's exactly what we see. Verd and Hathor together give him a lot of control with the ability to take so many turns over the course of the game.
I do like CHENE's draft so far. Vertihile and that Hathor is going to be picked by CHENE. ROSITH looking to respond and wrapping up his draft here after seeing Verd and Hathor.
I would like to see an Okeanos as some way to control the field, and Dark Monkey actually acts very much like an Okeanos, oftentimes, sometimes even better with the skill 2 defense break and in Savannah. So ROSITH taking advantage of the fact that CHENE has no immunity, and I think for now the tentative ban is going to be on that Vertihile, which is going to enable all these units to take turns over and over again. Or I wouldn't also be surprised to see a Hathor ban out. I think it's going to be one of the two units being banned out tentatively. And CHENE, actually, interestingly enough, going with a Leo, even though there's a Ragdoll on the field. So this tells me Savannah's being left in for sure, and we're likely going to see a Ragdoll ban. And he's also got a Vigor on his side of the field, which makes the Leo less effective. So kind of an interesting and a weird pick here going on here. Takes out the Dark Monkey here. So we're going to see Verd, Leo together. Really also a weird ban on the Vigor, knowing that Vigor and Leo are pretty bad together. So kind of interesting bans from both players here. And I think ROSITH lacks a lot of damage here, but at the same time, if he is able to land a defense break and pop something with the Ragdoll, does have a chance to win.
Yep, most definitely, guys. That's going to finish off this draft here with CHENE and ROSITH. We're going to be going into the first round resistance lead for CHENE, and we have a speed lead coming out for ROSITH. Here we go. CHENE, ROSITH. Here we go. Let's see who's going to be taking first turn. We do have, of course, Leo taking first turn.
Yeah, we have Leo taking first turn, and then ROSITH's entire team's going to move. That Daphnis will need to do a lot of damage onto this Vanessa here in order for CHENE to have the upper hand.
Savannah looking to deal some damage here to the Daphnis. Daphnis took it very, very well.
Yeah, and actually, not getting that strip on the Daphnis is huge because otherwise ROSITH was able to defense break and then go into Ragdoll kills. So very unfortunate not to get that strip on the Daphnis. And this may actually be game here, or at least a unit down, because he's not going to be able to take out that Daphnis off the bat and will lose a unit.
Vanessa was able to get that defense break on top of the Hathor. Daphnis primed and ready, going after with a Hellfire on the Vanessa, gets the defense break, does not finish off that Vanessa. Vanessa still holds on.
Yeah, Vanessa still holds on here, but Vanessa's not going to hold on very much longer here. Leo and Vertihile are both moving in front of Vanessa, so Vanessa's going to go down, but we're going to see Savannah going to be able to apply defense breaks across the board, and we're going to see trades of units.
Yep, we're definitely going to be seeing a trade here, but we're going to see a third skill keeping down that Fran for even longer and even reducing the attack bar of that Vanessa as well, landing both sleeps there. Not getting any attack bar reduction on the Vanessa, but it's not going to matter here. Vertiheal is going to be finishing off that Vanessa.
Yeah, Vertiheal does finish off that Vanessa, and that Vert does counter, which is really lucky on Shen's side, so that is giant because otherwise Ragdoll was going to be able to pummel in more damage, but that's so much damage coming on the Vert there.
So much damage indeed. Savannah did have that glancing. The defense break did land on top of the Vertiheal as well. Not able to drop Savannah off the beast just yet. Fran is down, not able to get the additional turn there to possibly heal up. That's Savannah.
Yeah, but that Vert's going to be alive here because that Savannah was not able to take a turn. At the same time, that Ragdoll might not do it. Well, will do enough damage on the Vertiheal here. So I stand corrected here. That Vertiheal does go down here, and Shen is down to 2 units.
Yep, that's right, with the additional turn, getting rid of that shield on top of the Daphnis. Daphnis primed and ready with another Hellfire. Is he going to choose to go after the Ragdoll here? Is he going to try and take out the Fran?
Very tough to down a Ragdoll without a defense break here. Wisely goes for the Fran, but again, Shen's looks a little tough for Shen here. He's going to need to somehow have this Leo on Vampire. It unfortunately is not.
Yep, definitely not on Vampire. There's a sustain coming out of Fran with the attack break as well. Leo's not going to be able to provide enough damage to do anything here. Obviously, the Savannah could drop it. The Savannah's going to be getting the additional turns as well. And there you have it. ROSITH taking round 1 in a best of 5.
Players.
Yep, most definitely. We're going into round 2 with ROSITH and Shen. You can see the pre-bans from last time. Ciara getting pre-banned and Okeanos getting pre-banned by ROSITH.
So in this situation here, Shen does have first pick, and it looks like both of them are going with the strat of deny your opponent the Ciara. Whoever gets first pick, whoever has the second pick is going to be pre-banning Ciara, ensuring that his opponent doesn't have it. That's how strong Ciara is perceived to be in this meta here. And actually, Okeanos also determined as one of the strong units. So Shen going with a very fast unit, even though he's typically an Art of Rag user.
Yep, curious to see if Shen's going to be taking first turn with that Okeanos. I wonder if he's going to be bringing a speed lead with it as well. ROSITH first picking a Fran and Viga.
Yeah, that Fran and Viga drop very strong into Okeanos here. And Shen, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Vanessa. I would not like to see it. I would like to see a Savannah or something like that. Hathor is also a great pick. And Juno kind of locks down this Fran, but is also a little weak to Viga.
Hathor Juno for Shen here. ROSITH looking to respond after seeing those 2 units.
Yeah, Shen does also lack a lot of direct damage, doesn't really have a defense break, doesn't have immunity, so I'm not exactly sure, honestly, about picking so many units that do the same thing. And I think ROSITH can take advantage of that and is doing so through a lot of direct damage. I would have preferred to see some sort of more sustain coming out from ROSITH's side, but I think this is also okay. I mean, Masha, Ragdoll, just such a strong combination together.
Very strong combination. I do like seeing the Ragdoll and the Mash, and I can't help but give it to ROSITH in this match already, but Shen's got to respond after seeing those 2 units. What can Shen bring to stop ROSITH?
Yeah, Shen's probably thinking through water units right now. It needs to do a lot of damage here. I'm not sure this is it, but he does have Gani, Hathor, Oki on the field. So, I mean, we're looking at Gani is likely going to be a smart ban here. Shen is positioning himself to ban out. Probably some sort of Ragdoll or a Fran here. And ROSITH laying down the Dark Monkey, again, exploiting the fact that Shen has no immunity.
Definitely. I mean, we've been seeing so much Dark Monkey King coming from ROSITH. I love seeing this unit being used more and more, especially in SWC, because not enough people use this unit.
Yeah, it's interesting to see ROSITH's pick of the Dark Monkey. I would prefer to see a Molly lay down with a ban on Gani, understanding that Shen does not have a ton of burst. Shen's weakness is no immunity, no burst. So if you're able to out-survive and you have sustain, you're going to win. So I would have preferred that. He instead goes for the bursty route with the Dark Monkey. So this Dark Monkey does need to be very, very tanky in order for ROSITH to do well. But either way, he does have 2 points of sustain on his team. So I do like his team over time. Shen needs to find a spot to take something out, but he also has that Gani Oki lockdown.
Yeah, well, Shen's going to be banning out that Masha. ROSITH splitting the Gani Hathor, banning out that Hathor, guys. We're going into round 2. Shen and ROSITH. Here we go. We have first turn being taken by a very quick Okeanos.
Yeah, we have first turn taken out by Okeanos. Needs to land on this Fran, does not get it, and that's absolutely massive because one of Shen's ways to win is that Gani Hathor the Gani Oki lockdown here, but may not get it here. There is a Juno that can strip the team. It does move in front of Gani, so that is also in favor of Shen.
Doc Monkey King with that second skill defense break on top of the Okeanos, getting an additional turn as well. Looking to publish some serious damage in here. Vigor is going to be primed and ready to take advantage of it as well. See the stun defense break on top of the Juno, but Juno's going to be healing herself up. Vigor applying massive damage, dropping that Okeanos though.
Massive damage onto that Okeanos. It's going to go down, but at the same time, Tyrannese does have the ability to revive a team. Gani does have skill 3 reset, so Shen's going to be able to kind of come back here, and Dark Monkey did use all of its skills, so it's going to not do very much unless it stuns on skill 1 for a bit.
Reset going out onto Vigor, glancing being applied to that Dark Monkey King, and we may have that revive there, and we do. Tyrannese is going to be reviving up that Okeanos.
Yeah, Tyrannese does revive up that Okeanos, but Tyrannese does not provoke the Vigor, and that's pretty important because Vigor is going to have the ability to cycle cooldowns and may be able to give speed buff very soon.
Yeah, but you can see he's starting to focus down that Okeanos, especially with those additional turns as well. As quick as Okeanos got back, is as quick as Okeanos is going to get knocked down again, but he does survive here. Looking for a stun on everybody except the Fran, of course. Fran, though, can drop this Okeanos, and does so.
Fran does drop that Okeanos, and that's a massive proc from that Vigor because he's able to give speed buff, which allows his team to outpace Shen. Great ventilate onto the Juno. It's going to apply more dots on the ROSITH side, and recognizing that speed buff is a threat, takes those speed buffs out.
Ooh, with the Despair Stuns as well on top of the Fran. We can see this third skill Shred coming back out and landing the defense break on top of the Juno. Ragdoll looking to take care of that defense break on Juno. Not finishing it off here. Is Dark Monkey King going to be enough?
I would have liked to see him go for it, and with that Fran moving next, might be able to use additional damage artifacts to take out that Juno, but it said goes for the conservative route and does not do so. At the same time here, I mean, Shen's firing a lot of damage, and ROSITH does have a little bit of catch-up to do here, as his units don't have skills up just yet.
Most definitely looking to cross his fingers, getting that Despair Stun onto the Fran, not receiving it. He keeps going after this Juno, but the Juno keeps healing up.
That's a massive stun from that Juno onto that Fran. That Fran did have skill 3 up, but was unable to use it here. So that's a ton. That's a lot of RNG coming out, but I don't know if it's enough here. That's a huge proc coming out from Gani, though.
Huge proc. He's able to reset the Fran. Dumping attack bars on everybody. Wild Blow possibly coming out here to deal more damage.
That was one of the biggest procs of the game here, swinging the tide in favor of Shen. That was a lot of RNG. Fran doesn't have healing anymore, and Tyrannese is going to be able to revive a unit again really soon.
Ooh, Vigor choosing to go for that second skill. Ragdoll's going to be there to finish off the Juno. It's not over yet. The Ventilate going back onto that Wind Druid. Wind Druid's going to have revive up once again. Attack bar reduction on the Tyrannese, and we might see a third skill. The procs are coming. He chooses to finally go with that third skill, landing the defense break on top of the Gani.
Yeah, and Shen does need to revive up a unit right now. The Gani is 3-turn defense broken, so it's going to be taking a ton of damage here. Does proc. That proc is massive because it has third skill up next, and ROSITH doesn't have immunity at the moment.
So many procs coming out for this Ganymede, but the procs for ROSITH as well. The Juno is back, and the Juno is put down once again, but we do have the third skill that is up, and he's going to put that on top of the Fran, getting the reset and full attack bar reduction on everybody. Wild Blow's coming to this field right now, looking to deal some damage to the Vigor. Vigor did not take that well.
Yeah, I went after the Vigor here, but again, that Vigor does have skills. I'm unsure of why he did that. Might have gone on the Fran there. So instead, this Gani is going to take a lot of damage, and ROSITH still has 3 units up.
Shen bringing Juno back for a second time. There's the revive. Has to cleanse up that provoke. Sitting on top of that Vigor. Vigor looking for a skill 3 to put down the Juno once again. The additional turn going to be coming here, and no additional turn. Full strip. Are we going to see the Despair Stuns coming out onto ROSITH's team? Does get the Despair Stun on top of the Vigor. Ragdoll looking to finish off the Juno. Does so.
Yeah, really, really lucky Juno. Revenge proc allowing the Juno to move in front of Ragdoll, but doesn't matter. ROSITH's able to take out that Juno, and again, we're coming down to the point where ROSITH needs to stabilize, but units are taking a lot more damage and might be able to be dropped in one hit.
Shen really needed to apply some glancing here on the field to limit the amount of damage that ROSITH is bringing here. Looking for a Wild Blow to drop. The Vigor not doing it. Fran with third skill, healing up. Attack buffs are coming his way.
Yeah, not sure why he's not going after the Fran. That Vigor is usually a lot tankier than the Fran here, so interesting target selection here. May cost him the game, because Terra needs is so good in a Vigor, can take out the Fran first, instead does not do so. Goes after the Vigor for some reason, and ROSITH left with 3 units, and that's exactly why he's winning that game.
There you have it. ROSITH taking round 2 away from CHENE. So much back and forth. You can see pre-ban from last time, guys. We're getting into it. Third match between ROSITH and CHENE. Ciara and Okeanos getting pre-banned in this match.
Yeah, and ROSITH is eyeing that ticket to go back to Worlds again. He has been drafting excellently. And again, this all comes down to denying that Ciara first pick here. ROSITH, first game, I think he went with the Fran first pick. Might just go with that again. He was able to eke out enough damage in the face of that Leo, so he might go for that. Or he could also change his pattern of drafting and maybe drop some other control unit first, maybe even taking the Ganny. Decide to stick with the typical comp with that Fran first pick.
Yep, Fran first pick for ROSITH. Not even thinking it out. CHENE just locking in that Ragdoll Vigor.
I do like the Ragdoll Vigor pick here because it's very good into Fran, and at the same time it denies ROSITH the Ragdoll. And ROSITH doesn't really have a Ciara to deal with this team here, so I like those picks. It allows CHENE to go into Art of Rag later. So, and Daphnis is also terrible into Vigor. So really good picks here that deny certain picks from ROSITH. ROSITH going to neutral picks of Vanessa and Hathor.
Yeah, Vanessa Hathor being drafted by ROSITH. CHENE looking to respond. We may see the Ada coming in here in the second round of picks.
We may see the Ada here, but Ada is also quite weak to that Hathor. I do like the Hathor pick. CHENE does not have immunity here, but does decide to bring immunity with Amelia. I do like the Amelia in this spot if he's going to draft this way. He is also weak to a lot of AoE control, but at the same time, he can always finish the draft with like an Ileana last. So very well-rounded draft from CHENE. And I would like to see a lot of wind coming out from ROSITH, probably some sort of an Ethna, a lot of maybe a Diana would be interesting. He's likely, if he's going to take Diana, banning out Artemel and just fighting through glancing. But I would like to see a lot of wind here with the ability to draft, to ban out the last unit.
Interesting. I think that's definitely saying he's going to be letting that Amelia through, drafting that Bolvac.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the Bolvark pick here. It's not terrible, but at the same time, not exactly a strong unit when your opponent controls when it gets stacks or when it doesn't. So Juno pick here is telling us that CHENE is letting Hathor through, recognizing that Amelia might be let through in this game here. So I think that's what we're going to see. Juno is the ban here. We're going to see a situation in which ROSITH, I don't see how he wins here. His win condition is Bolvark plus damage, but the rest of the team doesn't do enough to get 50% down really quickly. So I think CHENE has this on draft, and it can probably hit the auto button and walk away from this computer.
Let's see if CHENE can hold on here. We're getting into the round 3 match with ROSITH and CHENE. Can ROSITH get the upset? Looking for the sleep on top of the Amelia, not receiving it there. Fran going to be buffing up.
Yeah, Fran does buff up here, wants to provide his team immunity. At the same time, that Bolvark is not going to do enough here with the combination of the other units here. CHENE's going to be able to pick his team back up. Goes at the Arda, but again, CHENE representing a very tanky team.
Yep, most definitely. He's going to get his immunity up here. It is going to give stacks to the Bolvark. Is he chooses to do that or not?
Definitely does not. Again, CHENE does have the ability to control when he uses those buffs and gives Bolvark those stacks. And Artemil and Vigor and Amelia all heal. So he has enough healing on his side here. ROSITH basically needs to wait till it's 50 up, 50 down, and then have his units do enough damage with it.
Vigor going with the skill 3 on top of that Vanessa. Vanessa hoping for a defense break on top of Ada, not receiving it there. No strip coming of Ada, but Ada has that fantastic second skill, healing himself to almost full.
Yeah, that's a massive resist from that Artemil here, because that might have given ROSITH the chance to come back. He is going to put the entire team to sleep, but it would have given ROSITH the chance to take out that Artemil, actually. So missing that, absolutely massive. But now he needs to do some damage, he needs to get some procs on that Vanessa.
Yep, the unit of choice to wake up is going to be Ada there.
Yeah, unit of choice is Ada, but Ada is so tanky here. Not sure if ROSITH is going to be able to take it out. I mean, you see it's still at 75% health, and ROSITH doesn't have a defense break for a while here. So CHENE looking like he's going to be able to survive this.
Yep, possibly. No additional turns coming out of any of those units there. No despair stuns this time coming out of Ada. I think he needs to pick up whatever Ada Zerpolita's been using.
Yeah, I mean, no despair stuns on Artemil means that it's a lot weaker of a unit here. And now that Bolvark has 3 stacks, I wouldn't be surprised to see CHENE use that Vigor skill 3 because speed buff is so strong in this and is going to allow him to outpace his opponent.
Yep, he Does have those 3 stacks there. Does he choose to use that second skill or not? We can find out. Does go with it, giving 5 stacks to that Bullvac.
Yeah, at that point, Shen's thinking about turn 2 afterwards. Is his opponent going to be able to do enough damage? He's thinking through the turns here and decides it's worth taking the risk. Even if his opponent procs, he might not be able to take out this Artemel. Is not
still looking for the defense break on top of Ada, not receiving that defense break either. Looking for a little bit of attack bar reduction. Does get the attack bar reduction though. That third skill he's going to use on probably Ada, looking to drop the HP on him, and he is.
Yeah, he uses that third skill, but again, doesn't have enough burst to take out anything of Shen. Shen's gonna be able to heal a lot. Amelia does provide healing. Arda's gonna have skills up soon. And again, Vigor may have skills up soon too. So Shen's looking really good, but again, Shen doesn't quite have a lot of burst himself either too.
Definitely not. You can see the poke damage, looking for an attack break on top of Ragdoll, not receiving it. Ada's gonna be healing himself up with the skill too. Fran heals herself up.
Yeah, again, this is kind of a slow matchup here. We're looking to see when a defense break is going to be able to be landed. Each player is looking for the ability to capitalize on the defense break. Does provoke the Fran and Biopump.
Yeah, most definitely. ROSITH, he's just going to continue focusing down Ada. He's really, he's praying for these additional turns, and it finally landed a defense break on that unit. Not too sure if we're going to see it. We'll find out. Defense break does land on top of the Vanessa. No additional turn coming out of the Vigor.
Yeah, that's a huge provoke onto that Fran and a defense break onto that Vanessa, because now there's no way to cleanse that Vanessa. Vanessa's going to be dropping soon unless this Fran procs, because that Ragdoll is going to do a lot of damage. But of course, there are skills up on this Hathor. So this Amelia may do enough damage, but that's a 2-turn sleep on each side.
Yep, everyone's going to be sleeping here due to Hathor's third skill. Oop, choosing to focus down the Amelia, not wanting to wake up this Ada here.
Yeah, that's a very lucky proc by that Amelia. It's going to be able to pummel in more damage, or even decide to wake up the team here, and then, of course, giving the Bulwark stacks, but there's 2 turns of defense break on that Vanessa left.
Ooh, ROSITH really hoping for an additional turn there with the Fran not receiving it, though. Uses that third skill, dumps all the knowledge on top of Ada.
Yeah, dumps all the knowledge on top of Arda, but that Vanessa's going to need to be able to survive a couple of hits here from that Ragdoll. That's so much damage from that Artemel.
Massive defense buff damage coming from Ada right on top of that Vanessa. I think he's got to take advantage of that defense break. There's no time to freeze another unit, and he does. Shen drops that Vanessa.
Yeah, Vanessa drops. That's just so much damage coming off from the Artemel. And again, Fran not being able to outpace that speed buff is the reason why that Vanessa was not able to be picked up.
Fran going with a nice skill too. Is he going to survive? Is he going to drop the Ada? And he does. Hathor is going to be finishing off Ada there.
Yeah, Hathor does finish off Arda, but I don't see how ROSITH can come back here. I mean, these units are so good in the Bulwark. Bulwark doesn't really do very much here. Fran does do a lot at this point in the game, but it also takes a lot of damage.
Ooh, big skill too coming from Ragdoll. Ragdoll with no additional turn to finish off that Fran there, but we do have that skill 3, and this is we do have the knowledge drop there on top of Ragdoll healing up that Fran.
Yeah, and Hathor does have skill 3 next, so that speed buff is going to allow Ragdoll to move in front here, possibly, but that Hathor does have the ability to put Shen's entire team to sleep.
Looking for an attack break onto Ragdoll. Does get it. Looking to put everybody to sleep here as well. Does he get the full attack bar reduction? No resistance on the side of Shen.
Yeah, no resistance on the side of Shen. Hathor, very strong unit here, but this is the point where it's 50 up, 50 down, and ROSITH can actually do enough damage with the Fran to be able to take a unit out. Any unit does damage at this point in the game.
Yep, looking for an attack break on top of the Amelia, not receiving it here. Amelia possibly looking for a freeze on the Fran, not receiving that freeze either. Bolvac looking to steal that to get another stack of knowledge.
Yeah, but at this point here, ROSITH is looking for a spot to be able to take out this Ragdoll based off of attack bars. Does not quite see it yet, so decides to poke something else, but that's exactly what ROSITH is looking for to be able to take this game away.
Hathor possibly looking to put this Amelia down with the skill 2. No, chooses the skill 2. The Ragdoll, keeping Ragdoll down. He needs to drop this Ragdoll and hope it doesn't get a Torrent off.
Yeah, but we do have Fran moving in front of that Ragdoll. That's going to be enough damage to take this Ragdoll out. And then with the Vigor and Amelia left, that's not enough to deal with this Bulwark. So ROSITH is going to be in a really good spot here. Should go for it because that Ragdoll is in Torrent range anyway. So instead decides to go onto the Vigor, does not want to take the risk, and decides that he's going to be able to survive if somehow that Ragdoll is going to be able to get online.
Yep, choosing to apply some attack breaks onto the Vigor and the Amelia. Vigor looking for a defense break on top of Fran. There it is. Oh, but the Torrent is not going to be up here.
Yeah, that torrent was used earlier, but at the same time, Shen may not be losing this ragdoll right away. We'll see what happens here, but really like Shen's position with that Vigor, that Amelia into this situation.
Most definitely choosing to look to get a freeze onto the Hathor, not receiving it. Chooses to go with a skill 1 onto the Ragdoll, finishing off Ragdoll.
Actually, ROSITH is looking pretty good. He has a wind unit into these. It's going to come down to the window of opportunity that Vigor has with that defense break on skill 3. That Bulwark does have full stacks, but again, half HP at this point in the game doesn't really do very much.
Yeah, definitely looking for a freeze onto the Bulwark, not receiving that freeze. You can see this knowledge drop there onto the Vigor, totally reducing his HP. Looking for a defense break on top of the Bulwark, does receive that defense break, but we've got a skill 3 up here with the Hathor.
Yeah, I think the Hathor, he's thinking about either sleeping the Amelia or going after Vigor for damage there. Decides to go after Vigor here. Not sure about that move, but that Purifying Wave is going to give stacks to Bulwark, which is going to heal the team. But also, it's not going to be a lot of healing, but he decides to go after the damage here and use the Hathor to poke it out.
Ooh, there you go. Hathor does drop the Vigor. ROSITH possibly getting the 3-0 here on Shen. Wiping the sweat from his brow.
Wow, and ROSITH fist pumping, highly emotional, going back to Worlds again. You know he's excited about it. Huge win by ROSITH.